Good. How you doing?
Not too bad. I had the stream on my TV, so I had to shut it off, and I had to get my speaker going on my laptop, so I was caught up. So
There you go.
Phenomenal.
I got sorry if I was late because I got caught up listening to you guys. So
That's okay. I guess that's a good thing, right?
for sure, I love the shirt. I have to say as well.
It was like we planned it.
It's
Yeah.
almost like we planned it. It's funny because I actually did have a different shirt on when I did the promo video for on Twitter. I had the AW autism inclusion shirt on, and then I went and changed it. And no rhyme or reason, just changed it and put Piper on tonight. And although it's glaring, it's just light, but what are you gonna do, right?
And you know how great of a coincidence that is, also right now for me, anyways.
That
I just found out about like 6 months ago now that I'm going to be having a baby girl. Well, I'm going to be having a baby. My first baby's on the way. And it's going to be a girl, and my wife and I came to the name of Piper. So,
Nice.
yeah,
that
Piper
is-
means even more for me. Just like when I see it now, it means even more for sure.
We are this is a daughter only show, by the way. We only let people that have daughters on or are daughters. I have 3 daughters. Vanessa has 2.
Perfect.
So it says
I'm joining the daughter club.
you're joining the daughter club. And Piper, a phenomenal name. It was not on the list for me and my wife. No rhyme or reason. I do enjoy it. My middle kid has I guess you would say, quote unquote, different name, which would be like I guess a Piper. I guess a Piper could be a boy or a girl name, and like my middle daughter's name is Luca. So people hear that and they say, oh, they think boy right off the bat. Piper's good. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Congratulations.
love Luca. I like Luca as well.
Yeah.
And it's nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. Phenomenal. I'm very excited about what we're going to talk about tonight, which is Chem Valley Wrestling.
Yeah.
We'll definitely get to that because I know nothing about Chem Valley. Vanessa does. She's actually attending the comeback, which is on August 21st. So she's pumped because she's been locked inside her house forever.
Me too.
ready to
For sure. Vanessa's been at all of our shows, I think. Were you at the Smash shows as well, Vanessa?
Yeah, I missed 2 Smash shows because I was living out of town.
Yeah.
At the time, but yeah, I've pretty much been at everyone since. Like, yeah, everyone.
So that's the cool thing about Chem Valley. It actually started with me working with 2 of, I'd say, Canada's biggest promotions, Smash Wrestling and Destiny Wrestling, which Vanessa came to both those shows. I started off at a small bar here in town in Sarnia. I was working there, actually. I was kind of like an assistant manager. We had lots of really cool bands there and stuff. So we used like a smaller ring. It was my first time ever putting on a show. And yeah, it was really cool. It kind of took off from there. Just kept on doing shows. Started working with Destiny after that, and then started doing my own thing with Chem Valley about 2 years ago, right before the pandemic. We got 2 shows in, almost got 3, but we're on to our 3rd here in about 10 days.
So you've always been, obviously, like most of us, you've always been a wrestling fan.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh yeah, my whole life. I'd say the first memory I have is my dad putting me in front of the TV with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, and I was hooked.
What was it? What was it about wrestling back then that hooked you?
Honestly, I think it was just so different of everything I was watching on TV. Just these larger than life people coming out, and just it was something that like I knew I could come to every week and watch, get excited for. Collected a lot of wrestlers. Like I had an insane collection when I was a kid. I don't anymore, unfortunately.
What happened?
I'm more onto when I was like in high school, I kind of got out of it, to be honest with you, for a bit. Kind of like everyone, like it wasn't the cool thing, right? So I just kind of got out of it. I still wrestled in high school, like I was on the wrestling team. But I don't know. I kind of got out of it for a bit, and then I got back into it. right after high school, me and my wife, Katie, went to Comic-Con in London, and Smash Wrestling was running there. And that's kind of where it all started, and everything kind of came together. I met the owner there. Actually, I seen Braxton Sutter was the first person who I seen.
yeah.
So I was like, holy, who's this guy? Like, I didn't know who he was at the time because I wasn't watching at the time, right?
Right.
I'm like, who is this? And so like I went up and talked to him. I was like, hey, are you like at all running this at all? Like, I have a bar in Sarnia. I'd love to work something out to have you guys come down. And he's like, no, I'm not running it. So he put me in touch with the owner, Sebastian, and we worked things out and got wrestling to Sarnia, and kind of think just grew things from there.
If you were not on the show tonight, what would you be doing?
What would I be doing tonight? Probably watching some wrestling, to be honest with you. Like I said, I got a huge DVD collection, so in my free time, I'm really just in this room, hanging out, kind of getting things ready for the show. Actually, the last month, a lot to do with that, and yeah. Luckily, not working, because right now I'm working 4 jobs, and that's all. That's also something like, I work as many jobs as I can and try to stay as busy as I can. So.
Hey, more power to you, man.
And I'm also in school right now, if you can believe it or not. I chose to go back to college, and so right now I'm just going through all that.
What are you going to school for?
Sports and rec management.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's right up my alley. Like, I've always been involved with sports my whole life. I think I've played every sport you could probably think of, or been involved with it in a way.
Very competitive guy, I learned. You have played a ton of sports, including badminton, which I watched tremendously on the Olympics this year, and curling, which is everybody's favorite Winter Olympic sport.
Yeah. I was on the curling team in high school. If you can believe that. Me and my friend actually did it kind of as a joke at first.
Okay.
And then we kind of grew. Like, the curling club in Sarnia is super serious, and to be there, you kind of have to be like serious about it. And at first, we were out there, we were just like doing spins on the ice and acting like goofballs. And so the coach kind of sat us down, and they're like, if you want to do this, and like I kind of, after like my first couple of practices, I'm like, you know what, this is like, if I put my mind to this will be fun. It's something new for me, and like I'm always up for trying new things.
And you know what? When I read this, it never actually occurred to me, and Vanessa can chime in here as well. Is curling like it's just like one of the sports you play in gym in high school in Canada? It's just
that and ringette.
What is that?
Ringette is like hockey, but there's a ring instead of a puck, and your stick is like pointy at the end.
So you flick it?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's not an Olympic sport either?
I don't think so.
Not yet, anyways.
Not yet.
I'm sure they'll make it one.
That's interesting, because you know, us stupid Americans, we see curling at the Winter Olympics, and we're like, oh, we want to play that. Like, that's phenomenal. And I agree.
Curling is so much harder than like it looks. There's so much involved in that sport.
I bet it is. I bet.
I'm actually working at the golf course in Sarnia that is attached to the curling club. So I'm hoping that in the winter I can kind of go back and relive those days for at least one day.
I know. I love curling. I miss it.
So you're extremely competitive. We've learned that you've with all the phenomenal sports you've played, but you have played more real sports, like American sports, like football.
Yeah. I'm on the Sarnia Imperials, our semi-pro football team here in Sarnia.
What position?
I'm a defensive tackle.
Big guy. How big are you?
Well, I'd say I'm about 300 pounds. Probably a lot less than that, but I'm hard on myself, and I haven't stepped on the scale since I was about 295. So I think I've lost a little bit of weight since then. I don't know how much, but I need to get back into the gym. Before the pandemic, I was at Tyson Dux at school in London. I was going there like 3 times a week, working out like every day at the gym here in Sarnia. And I just kind of fell off through the pandemic, kind of lost motivation in a lot of things because I was working a lot as well. I think everyone just kind of tried their best to get through things, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I left my job because I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Had to
Yeah.
stay home with. I have 3 daughters. I had to stay home with. I guess all of them, you could say, but 2/3 of them needed more guidance than the other third. But yeah, I totally get that for sure.
Absolutely.
But so as far as wrestling goes in Chem Valley Wrestling, what are the challenges? And we're gonna get to the comeback, but what are the challenges overall on putting on a show, promoting show? The biggest challenges, or just a challenge maybe people don't even know about, that they don't even think of when you're putting on a show.
Yeah, for sure. Like, for me, really, it's just about like the organization of everything. You got to make sure everything's set for the day of the show. Really be communicative with everybody. Make sure the talent knows what time to be there, what time like the doors are at, what time the show is going to start. Make sure they're not rolling in after the bell. You know what I mean? So, just really, there's for a promoter, there's a lot of things going through your mind, especially like even now, 2 weeks before the show. It's our first ever outdoor show, right? So we got to think about weather. There's a tent on standby, and there's just a lot of factors that come into play that, like you said, people don't think of. Like, just like you never know, the ring could be delayed with traffic here in Canada. Before the pandemic, there was actually some traffic delays, believe it or not, on the highways. But yeah, just you have to always kind of be on your feet and be ready for any obstacle that could come your way. And sometimes you never know too with the talent. Like, um, before, like I've never dealt with talent, or like I worked with bands when I was at the station, so I definitely did deal with some drama back then. But you definitely got to watch out for that as well, and that's something that I look out for. I like, especially in wrestling, you don't want any drama or egos or anything like that in your locker room. You want people to be happy, and my number one goal is just to make sure the talent leave happy and want to come back for more.
Right.
And I think since I've started, I've really gotten a really good response from the talent, with how I treat them, and just kind of how we do things here. Because like I learned a lot from working with the other 2 promotions here. Like a lot. Like those guys taught me so much. Like Sebastian started me off. Like our first show ever, we brought in MVP, and like I got the opportunity to talk with MVP for the entire day, kind of spend some time with him and learn from him. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've had Sebastian on here and Smash Wrestling. I mean, you an offshoot of that, you're in good hands.
Absolutely. And Sebastian's probably one of the most hated wrestlers, I'd say, in Sarnia, if you can believe that. He had probably one of the biggest feuds with one of our city councilors, actually, because of MVP. Going all the way back to our first show ever, Brian came out as a fan with his son, heard wrestling was coming to Sarnia, and in there it was MVP versus Sebastian. And in their match, MVP was holding Sebastian back, and Brian White's kid gave him a slap on the chest, and Sebastian didn't like that too much. So the next show, when they were coming to Sarnia, he shot a promo, and it kind of built from there. And in the end, I don't want to tell the whole story, but in the end, Sebastian,
there was handcuffs involved.
There was handcuffs. There was a broken arm.
Oh yeah.
There's a broken arm. We got CBC coverage, which is like Canada's big news network.
Yeah.
It got huge. It was awesome.
Were you there, Vanessa?
I was there, yes.
Interesting. That was insane. I would totally.
I remember. Okay, so the first show. So this is how like they've been coming around. So I think I was pregnant with my oldest, and we were at the show, and we always get front row because my husband won't go if we can't get front row. So we were front row. We were off in the corner, and like a wrestler came out and like bumped me, and then afterwards, like someone went up and was like, she's having a baby. And then it was like he started like freaking out and was like gonna offer me all this free merch and stuff, and I was like, nah man, I'm good, we're good.
Do you remember who the wrestler was?
I don't. But I do know that like on another show at River City, there was a lady who was really pregnant. And Tommy Dreamer, when he was wrestling Decker, was like, hey, you have to be over there. Like, you cannot be front row. You have to stand over there. And she did. Like, she did go and move there. But he was like, hey, no, sorry, I can't have you in the front row.
I think I remember that. That was awesome.
Channing Decker, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the Dark Side of the Ring guy. That's what he is.
Yep.
Yeah. Us Americans know. We know. Well, all right. Let's get to the Chem Valley. Let's get to the show that Vanessa will be attending. The comeback on August 21st, which I believe is a Saturday.
It is a Saturday.
It is
I think it's the same night. Is it the same night as SummerSlam? I was just
It
trying
is
to
the
figure
same
this
night
out.
as SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Hey,
They announced it after us, so it was their fault.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
Shame on them. Welcome, Blow Man, to the stream. Okay, so this is the first outdoor show, which you said. I'm gonna run down some of the matches. You can tell me if I've missed any. We have Aiden Prince versus Alex Realm.
Alec Realm, yeah.
Alec Realm and a Singh brother.
Yeah, Bhupinder Singh. He's actually, I believe he may just be going by Bhupinder now. He was in the Desi Hit Squad in Impact previously. He's trained by the great Kali. And I've been getting some training videos of this guy throughout the pandemic. And I got to say, this guy's going to be an absolute monster. I think a lot of people are going to hear about him within the next year or so. Be on the lookout for him for sure.
So Bhupinder. I literally saw that I have Bhupinder Singh.
It's Bhupinder.
BHU. Bhupinder Singh.
That's it. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah, just go by Bhupinder because I can get behind that. This next one, females match. CC Galavis?
Yeah, Galavis
versus Miley.
Miley's making her pro wrestling debut. CC was here at her last show. She wrestled Alexia Nicole.
Okay.
Which was an absolutely incredible match.
That's the bubblegum princess, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have her coming up soon.
Yeah.
On this show.
I'm all
That's
about
awesome.
her. That'd be good. Obviously I've 3 daughters. I'm really into women wrestling, so I'm pumped about that. But what I want to get to is books and looks because books and looks because that right there has me hooked. You got me hooked with books and looks.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna clip this part of the video and send it to them because they didn't want to go with the books and looks anymore. I train with these guys, and these guys are amazing wrestlers. They can do basically anything you ask them to do, and just total great guys.
Yeah.
But they wanted to go away from the books and looks name. I'm like, no, you guys have to go with. They were gonna be on the last show as books and looks, and I knew it was gonna like. I love the tag team name, and I love where they're going with the gimmick. I seen them wrestle in London just before the pandemic with Smash, and I'm like, look, guys, you guys got to go. You guys got to keep going with this and blow it up. And even if you guys want to break it off after, build it up for a bit and then go in. Like, it's something that I think the fans will really like, and especially with those two guys here. They've been here already. They wrestled. Matt was a late addition to the. We had a 6-man contract on a pole match at our last show.
Which fell off a couple times.
So I had to talk to. I may have had to fire somebody.
Should have grabbed it, Vanessa.
Yeah.
I was on the other end of the ring. I thought about it.
You know what? They made it work really well with the way it fell down and whatnot, and that was a crazy match.
Does stuff like that happen a lot on these independent shows? Stuff like that.
Like those type of matches, or just
Well,
like
I guess the reason I say it is because we don't see those I guess I don't want to use the word botch. We don't see those blunders, mishaps. We don't see those mishaps as much on regular or not regular on main like WWE, AW, MLW, like that type of stuff.
yeah.
Where you would
This
see
was
it.
more so just a mechanical error, I guess, for the person who built it, which may or may not have been me. I'm not going to take any of the credit. But yeah, that match was like kind of just like so we did a battle royal a few years ago, and I wanted to do something different for a title shot, and I figured this would be like a cool opportunity to get 6 guys in there at once and kind of throw something magical together. And it ended up being a really cool match, and we got like 4 new guys in there that hadn't wrestled here before. So that's another thing. Like I'm trying to really branch out and try everyone, and especially in Ontario. We prior to the pandemic, we were kind of branching into Michigan and the States. The first match I ever booked on my own was Brian Pillman Jr. versus Aiden Prince for the Chem Valley Wrestling Championship.
Tremendous match.
Yeah.
If you folks seriously, I think it's on YouTube, isn't it? It's out there.
It would be sweet if it is out there. I don't know if it was taped. It's on, like, it is in like somewhere where like it just can't be released because it wasn't our show. But and I'm sure we could probably get permission if we wanted to. But yeah, if it's out there, I'd love to see it as well.
Yeah, that match. Oh my god, it was such a good match.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was the first match I ever had the opportunity of booking. Because before, when I was doing the shows with Smash and Destiny, obviously they had their own bookers and whatnot. So I was just doing the promoting and kind of putting everything together for them and making sure everything was there on show day. But then I got the opportunity to book a show for the championship that I introduced at the show before, which Aiden Prince won. And then yeah, after that I was like, I want to book shows. I love this. Like I knew that match, like that was another thing that I learned big time. Like if you ask your talent who they want to work and they tell you who they want to work and it's going to be a good match, they're going to put 110% effort into that match because you know what I mean? They want to work. Like that was a dream match for Aiden, working with Brian Pillman, because he absolutely loved watching his dad, obviously, when he was a kid, right? So I mean, to put that match together for him and make that happen, like that made my night. And especially with the response, obviously everybody loved it. So
and we've had Pillman on here. Phenomenal talent.
Have you? Yeah, he's a great man. Yeah. He's awesome, man. And I had the opportunity to go out with him after and just kind of hear his story and talk with him. And just such a great dude. And I'm so happy to see like he's going where he is. I think he was trapped there for a bit with MLW. I don't know what was going on, but it's great to see that he finally got a contract with AEW, because I know that's where his heart was. And now I think they're getting a pretty good push too, that tag team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blondes. Varsity Blondes. That's what it is.
Yeah. I almost said the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Another amazing talent that you got on your show coming up, Pretty Ricky Willdy.
Yes.
Well, amazing, a special talent.
Mm-hmm.
Enigma.
And you know what? His match wasn't confirmed until today. We just signed the contract today. So we'll make the announcement here right now. All right. He's gonna be facing Stone Rockwell at the show. Yeah.
The Adventurer.
He just got back from WWE, actually. He was there for a week or so doing some coaching, I believe. So yeah, I'm excited. I didn't know. We didn't find out until today. We put him on the poster because we love Stone, and everybody in Sarnia loves Stone. He told us there may be a possibility that he may not be able to make the show, but we wanted to put him on there, and luckily things worked out, and he's going to be back. And it's going to be an amazing match. I'm really excited for that one.
So Vanessa, you just popped for that. Why?
Well, because we have the Adventurer.
The Adventurer, yeah.
Versus Pretty Ricky. Like this match is gonna be like, what's his name? We had him on the show. Mike Rollins. What's in the box?
Psycho Mike.
It's gonna be It's gonna be like that. And this, like, I'm all in for this. I like Stone, so like he's like our favorite. So like I went and like we take pictures, and then like the next shows I'll bring the pictures, I'll print them and bring them so that they can sign them. So I did that, and I'm like, hey, I was like, whatever, if you charge for autographs, that's cool. But I was like, do you mind signing this picture for me? And he's like, well, I hope I have clothes on. And I was like, yes, we have clothes on. I'm confused. But yeah, it was just an adventure joke, like, haha, I adventure travel and stuff. So I was like, okay, it's cool. But I was like, well, I was like, if you can charge me, that's fine. Because I was just going up there to get them to sign the picture. So like their time is worth money too, right? So but yeah, I was like, well, if you didn't have clothes on, would you sign it? He's like, probably not. I'm like, okay, well then you do have clothes on.
I just want to see the promos, but that seems like solid gold. Pretty Ricky's.
It'll probably just be them talking the whole time.
That was the one match we had here. It was Jock, Samson, and Jimbo Jones. They didn't tie. I don't think they tied up for 20 minutes. They were just talking back and forth. Had the crowd going. It was insane. It was awesome.
Put them in the palm of your hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy when they can do that.
Well, Jimbo's the hometown guy, and then Jock's the Yank.
Yeah.
Have
you had Jock on the show?
I don't think
so. No, I've reached out a couple times, but a lot of them, like if they're not working a show, they're not gonna promote themselves. Makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Absolutely.
Same with, I believe, Jimbo talked about him before.
Yeah, I know he did a little different direction there for a bit during the pandemic, and I don't know if he's redirected or.
Yeah, we were gonna do a show last year, kind of in the middle of the pandemic, like last August. We were gonna do this outdoor show actually for this event, but it didn't work out, obviously, because we couldn't, because of public health rules and all of that. So we ended up working it out this year. But Jimbo, unfortunately, last year he said that he wasn't going to be wrestling for a bit until wrestling was back for a bit and he could get in the ring training, which makes sense, of course, because like you want to be ready right for a show when you come back, especially after being out for like a year plus.
But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the tag team Fight or Flight.
Yeah.
Fuerza, Von Vertigo. They're in action. Champion Cody Deaner. Go ahead.
They're the tag team champions, actually. Fight or Flight.
That's right. Tag champions.
Yeah.
They'll be in action as well. In your champion Cody Deaner, who has been phenomenal on this show, and he's taking on Tyson Dux, who's also phenomenal on this show. So I don't know, Vanessa. I don't know where our alliances lie. I'll tell you where mine lie. I'll tell you exactly where I lie in this match, but I'll let you go first.
Dukes.
Who, me?
Yes, you, Vanessa. Your name's Vanessa, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who you're talking to. I'm not the guest. Okay, where do I lie? Ooh.
Yeah, Dukes or Deaner? CCW Championship.
Okay. It's hard for me to pick on this because if I'm going Chem Valley Wrestling storyline, Deaner is the homeboy and he's like our talent, and then Dukes is the bad guy. Right. But then Deaner in Impact is kind of a bad dude.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I don't like him. So I'm kind of torn. Like,
are we gonna get bad Deaner on the 21st?
That's what I mean. Like, are we gonna get like the hometown guy? Or are we gonna get the bad guy? I don't know. That's why I'm going. Really,
I don't know. I had my Just Giver hat on actually before the interview, and I had to go change it just because I didn't know, right? So
yeah,
I didn't want to wear it in case he wasn't with that doing that next show. So I'm sure
Like,
we'll
it's
see a
hard
little
for
bit.
him not to, because like it's his hometown. But like, you gotta kayfabe it up a little bit.
I'm going with Deaner because he's a Beatles fan.
I'm gonna say that Deaner retains. I don't think Dukes has got it in him to take it off of him, but unless Dukes' little butthead son steps in.
What's his name?
That's
again?
also a possibility as well.
What's his son's
That is-
name again?
Ethan.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, and he's also a monster.
I've heard a lot about him.
Good things, right?
I don't know. I heard who did I hear? Brian White had a lot to say.
Oh no, not him. Brian White?
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that guy.
Well, he had a lot to say about you.
About me?
Yes.
Not.
About you, about Ethan. And it wasn't very flattering.
It wasn't.
No, so a lot of father stuff.
I have him on the poster. I think I might have to take him off then. If that's the case.
You should, because he had a lot of unflattering things. You're living in your father's shadow. Shit like this. You're a kid. You don't know nothing.
Oh yeah, I've seen that video.
What say?
That video.
What say you?
So what happened there was at our last show, kind of what set up all this Tyson Dux, Cody Deaner stuff. So Deaner retained the title against Tyler Turba. He was celebrating his win. Tyson, who's Cody's longtime friend in the business, came out to celebrate with him. Had his hands up, turned on him. As he was turning on him, I got Brian White in the back. Tried to get him out to stop the madness, but Brian didn't know that I was setting him up with Ethan and Tyson, and then we ended up putting him through a door. And Brian's still been sending Chem Valley Wrestling medical bills to this day from that incident, and obviously he's going to podcasts and talking about it. So
yeah, I heard it.
Yeah.
So,
well, like, he did go through a door, like
a forbidden door.
We broke the forbidden door way back then.
Yeah.
Who knew that would be a thing, eh, Sisson?
It's thicker. It's thicker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I honestly, it was kind of building. It was kind of from like something that built from the dojo. All the guys that I was training with were telling me that Brian was saying some things down there, and that's kind of what built all this feud up. And that's what made me send Ethan after Brian, and that's why we are where we are today. And at the next show, Brian's gonna probably get beat up again, I think.
So when do we have this culmination? When are you and the young Dukes gonna get your hands on Brian?
Well, I think I'm just going to send Ethan out on the 21st because that's all I think I have to do. Brian thinks I'm going to go out there with Ethan, and that might be the case. I may go out there and just laugh at the look on all his family and friends' faces when Ethan's ripping him apart limb by limb. But we'll just have to see because, nothing's confirmed yet. No contracts are signed. Brian's hoping, I think, that I'm going to be involved in this match one way or the other. And we'll see. Like, there's 11 days left, and I'm just going to wait it out and kind of make Brian wait it out as well, to be honest with you, because I know that that's making him nervous, like not knowing what he's doing at the next show. Like, I haven't booked a match for Highlander Robbie yet. I haven't booked a match for El Reverso yet.
That's right.
Who knows who he could face on? Like, you know what I mean? I could throw a curveball at him and put him in there with Highlander Robbie, and then he just be quick match, and then he's done even sooner. Like, there's so many possibilities. So,
and the card's already stacked. We really have to put a city councilor on it.
Exactly. See, after the pandemic, everyone's mad at them right now. So, like,
let's be real. I was not a Brian White fan from the beginning. I'm like the only person who boos him. Okay,
well,
let's
honestly,
just throw that out there.
I don't know anything about him. He looks like a massive prick to me.
He could be. He is a politician.
Silence speaks. Silence. Oh, he's a politician.
He is a massive prick. Yeah, he is a literal politician. He's the city and county councilor. He's not just the city councilor. He's involved. He's involved in. He has a say in the whole county around here.
Do city councilmen mean different in Canada than they do America?
I don't know. Like I say, like they deal with the mayor and like they make decisions with the mayor. That's what a city councilman does.
And actually, he's the acting mayor. So in 11 days, if I decide to go in the ring with him,
he's the acting mayor. When did that happen?
No, not right now. But like, if the mayor's out of a meeting, I've seen it happen where the mayor can't make a meeting. Our mayor misses a lot of meetings. He's kind of all over the place as well. I'd love to get him in the ring eventually after I take care of Brian, but that's another story. But Brian, whenever the mayor isn't there, he's the acting mayor. So just like he's an acting wrestler, somehow still I don't even understand. Like all these guys have had chances to end his career, and somehow he's still kind of hanging out and like still doing all this DDPY stuff. Like I don't know. I think the end of Brian White's coming in about 11 days.
Insane.
Is this interview going to be out before then as well? Like, will this be on YouTube? I can send to him and just kind of.
Yeah, if I can. The 21st? Yeah, it'll be out. I'll put a rush into it to my team.
Yeah, no worries. He's on the road he's on the road right now, driving back from BC, or else I would have had him join in this interview so I could chirp him live, but he's just going to have to hear it afterwards.
I think we need to get the mayor on here. That'd be phenomenal. That'd be amazing.
No, we don't want to talk to the mayor.
Yeah, we do.
He doesn't have anything interesting to talk about.
Oh, man. Great stuff. I tell you, man, the more I talk to independent wrestlers and independent, anyone involved in independent wrestling, the more I was like, man, what have I been missing out on everything? It's just not in. I just wasn't.
Honestly, I didn't know until that Comic-Con in 2015 or whatever it was in London. I didn't know what independent wrestling was, to be honest with you. I had no idea what it was. And my first, I'd say, like a real independent wrestling show was my own. So pretty cool to be able to say that.
It is. It's very cool. And it's weird because I've been a wrestling fan. I'm 40-something years old. And I've been a wrestling fan my entire life. And never into really independent wrestling. Maybe Ring of Honor for that small slice of independent. You know, they're right on the verge. And what technically qualifies someone as independent or not independent. I mean, sure, there's some sort of technical media definition, but it's not what I know now. It's not Chem Valley Wrestling. It's not Smash. It's not everything I've been learning about. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Arron can help us with the Adam Cole thing with contracts, because he would know contracts.
You want to talk contracts? That's what you want to talk about. What do you want to talk about?
I don't want to talk about money. I just want to say, like, if you were Adam Cole,
yes,
and you would, is it like, this is how I picture, if I'm Adam Cole and I'm going to be a free agent because I'm going to throw sports in. I'm thinking he's getting like manila envelopes from everybody with offers in it and money and like storylines. And then from there, he gets to go home and decide. Is that like how it works? Or is it like you just call them up and that's how it goes? And then you just like email the contract later?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, especially like on that level, I'm kind of out of the loop, to be honest with right now with the current, like, even with like AEW, I kind of just got back into watching that with when the fans came back there. I had a really hard time throughout the pandemic watching with no fans for some reason. I don't know why. Just like, I liked Impact at first, like with the no fans, but then after a while, I just kind of fell off. I think it was just the motivation thing, but yeah, I don't know. Like, That's a tough one. Like what I would say if I was Adam Cole right now, I'd be waiting out all the envelopes I can and waiting until the very last minute, especially with all these guys having all this success, right? Like look at Aleister Black right now. Like he's gonna get a push to the moon, it looks like. Which I don't think he would have ever gotten WWE.
Well, for me, if I'm Adam Cole, I'm following Britt Baker. That's just what I'm doing. Whether that's in wrestling or not in wrestling, I'm just gonna ride her coattails. That's what I'm gonna do. Start the Undisputed Era with Britt Baker in it. There you go. You're welcome, AEW.
Makes me wonder though, is that a good thing working with your significant other all the time like that? Like, do you think that's like maybe that's why he isn't thinking going that way? Because like you're with them all the time anyways, and then working with them as well, like that, I don't know. That could eventually lead to some turmoil down the road.
Hey, they're not married, as far as I know, at this moment.
They're not married?
As far as I know, they're not.
Okay.
Legally, from what I've heard. Vanessa told me Canadian wise they are legally married, but piece of paper married in
Adam Cole's Canadian?
No. Vanessa, help me. Stop.
No, so I'm saying like, right, so you know, like in Canada, if you live with somebody for X amount of time,
okay, yeah,
you're considered legally married.
I think that's true in America too, actually. I think it's 10 years in America.
Common law?
It's only like a year and a half in Canada. It's something stupid. Like it's a small amount of time.
But anyways, look, if I was Adam Cole, I would follow Britt Baker. If I was Adam Cole, I'd sign a contract with Britt Baker before I signed a contract with anybody else.
Do you think that's what just happened with Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona? Like, do you think she was just thinking, I want to work with him? And definitely possible.
It could be. I think she read the writing on the wall and saw that they had nothing for her. And unfortunately, the fact that she got hurt quite a bit under their umbrella, that's just how sports works. Like, you could be a top prospect for the Red Sox and you're injury prone. They're going to trade you for the next middle reliever. That's just how life works.
Yeah.
Shout out. We just got a raid. Sisson, for Chem Valley Wrestling. We just got a raid here on Twitch live.
From Heel Josh.
Yeah, from Heel Josh?
I think it was. Heel Kevin. I thought it was Heel Josh.
From Heel Kevin. So we got a lot, even more wrestling fans for Chem Valley Wrestling.
Perfect.
Let me post the link here. Boom, done. With the show coming up in a couple weeks, Vanessa's gonna be there live. But is there any possible way people that can't make it live watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first show actually where we're getting a production crew. We hired a team on. They're going to be coming down, taping all of our shows. We're not going to be doing anything live, unfortunately, at least yet. That's definitely a goal for the future, to do a Fight TV live taping or something along those lines. Because that's something, like, I've been to a few of those, and just the energy in the building on a night like that. Like for like, I went to Destiny Fight TV tapings a few times. I went to a Blackcraft Wrestling TV, like, Fight TV taping, and like, just so much fun. The crowd's so into it. And we just got a deal actually with Your TV, Sarnia. So all of our shows are going to be taped on Your TV, or played on Your TV at a later date after each show. And we're working on getting onto independent wrestling TV once we have enough product to put on there. Mm-hmm.
Build up the product, build up the content, and then push it out. Vanessa, you got any final questions? You're gonna be attending their show. What do you got? Anything?
I don't have anything right. Well, whenever you get media calls, just let me know, okay? I just need the little badge so that, I can just start bugging people backstage for content. That's what I'm here for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
For sure. I didn't even know you were on the interviewing side of things, so that's really cool. And I think definitely down the road, there's definitely some opportunity if you to be interested in doing like interviewing or something, or maybe some commentary. There's definitely lots of opportunity. Like we're trying to open the doors and give as many people a chance as possible, especially people who love wrestling. So, and that's a big thing with me. Like, yeah, try to be inclusive as possible and bring in as many people who are trying to build what we are. Vanessa, like I said, you've been a huge supporter the whole time, and I appreciate it more than ever, especially getting me on here, talking with you guys tonight. It's been so much fun. Haven't done anything like this in a long time. I was doing a podcast before, like actually, well, during the pandemic there for a bit, but it's tough, man. Like, yeah, hats off to you. Like I've been watching a lot of your stuff before I got on here. I watched the start of the show, and I'll definitely be watching now as much as I can. I don't watch I watch wrestling a lot, but I also spend a lot of my time watching podcasts, YouTube, Twitch. That's mostly what I'm watching. So
yeah, I would just watch us because we're the voiceless, and we'll say what people don't want to say, and that's what they hear. And I'm gonna say right now, I will give anything to hear Vanessa as a color analyst.
Oh God.
That's what I want, and that's what has to happen. Let's get it done. Hashtag Vanessa. No, wait, we can't use hashtag Vanessa analyst. That would not be good. Hashtag Vanessa Chem. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But we're not using hashtag Vanessa analyst. That won't be good. Anyways, we're nearing the end of the show. Now is your time to shine. You have people here. You have the Heel Kevin Twitch raid that's here. They have a lot of people here now, more than we can provide for you.
True.
That is true. So the mic is yours. The floor is yours. You can say anything you want. You can put over anything you want. You can bury anything you want, except Pretty Ricky Willdy, because we love him here.
I'm not gonna bury that guy. Have you watched his podcast?
I've had him on the show twice.
Honestly, I want that guy. I want that guy to be the backstage interviewer. Like
it's true.
That guy, his podcast.
I would not stand a chance.
I'm watching it. No, Vanessa, don't say that. I'm just saying that, like that guy's podcast. I'm watching it weekly, and that's what I'm putting over right now. Like, it's a like he markets it as like a blackballed podcast. So like blackballed from the business, and like he just has all these really funny characters on. Like some people who are absolutely hated in like the scene, or like you definitely would know, like recognize these names, and you're like, why is he interviewing this guy? And then you watch it, and it's just like him ripping on this guy for like an hour, like live on this podcast. And it's just like, I love Ricky. There's so many great guys on the show. And Chem Valley Wrestling, 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. It's 11 days at Valley Axe. The comeback Saturday, August 21st. Come out if you can. Highlander Robbie, former WWE star on the show.
That's right. I didn't bring that up.
Yeah. I'm excited to have him too. It's our first show with him. He's actually from the area, so I reached out to him, and we made it work, and really looking forward. He's a great guy to have in the locker room. So
phenomenal.
And his match, like I said, his match isn't announced yet, so we'll see who he's facing. It'll be announced in the next few days, along with some others. The 8 matches on the night. Bells at 7. We got, like I said, we got a full production, lighting, sound. You're going to be able to feel the music there. We got a lot of people helping out to make this a really great event. So if you can't make it out, we'll hopefully get it on the internet after for you. I'm going to put over both of you for having me on here tonight. I really appreciate it. I'd love to do it again. And I'll definitely be watching as much as I can.
Awesome. Anytime.
Awesome. Are we going to do like another can drive, or?
I didn't have anything in mind for this one. That's a really great idea. I kind of more so did that just because we were at our last venue was at a homeless shelter. So that's kind of why I brought that into that show. But it is a really good idea to just kind of keep giving back to the homeless, or we'll definitely think about something for this show for sure.
Excellent.
It's a great idea.
Phenomenal stuff. Well, Arron, I want to thank you for your time. Thank your wife for your time. Congratulations on your baby girl, because daughters are the only way to roll. And let's give
Absolutely
us,
look out for Piper
Yeah.
within 15 to 17 years, the next Chem Valley champion.
There you go. Yeah, put her over. And yeah, and let's get Vanessa in the ring August 21st. Let's put her in the ring.
No, I'm not. I don't want to be in the ring.
Let's give her
I've
a
already
mic.
told Aaron and I've had this discussion before. I don't want to take no bombs. I'm not taking bombs. I'm too old for that.
You don't need to take a bump. Let's get her in the ring. Let's let her announce.
Yeah, but like any announcer in the ring has taken a bump.
No, that's not true. It's not true.
Renee Young has taken a bump. Okay,
That's
it's not happening.
We'll get her there somewhere. Arron, you've been a phenomenal guest tonight. Chem Valley, I learned a lot about Chem Valley tonight. I'm very pumped about it. I can't wait to see the program or the comeback. I don't know why I said the program. I apologize.
No problem, man. I'm really excited. Like I said, thanks again so much for having. Where are you? Are you in Boston?
No. It does
You're
look
just
like that, doesn't it?
A little bit.
I am in upstate New York.
New York, and you got Boston swag.
Yeah, it's hurt me.
Do you get a lot of heat for that, or do you just like getting the heat for that?
I used to get heat. I loved the heat, and then in 2004 when they were down 3-0 in the American League Championship Series, the Yankees sucked balls and they choked and they lost and they haven't been the same since, and they're still not any good. So fuck you, Yankee fans, and you can clip that. I'll even hit the button myself. There you go. But I did for the longest time. I'm 40 something. So for the longest time it was, the Reds, Bill Buckner and the Red Sox and the Mets, and missing the ground ball to first and all that fun stuff. And you may even be too young for that to even know what I'm talking about. But anyways, in 2004. We said fuck the Yankees, and I still say fuck the Yankees. So, but I don't want to talk about the Blue Jays.
You don't want to talk about the Blue Jays?
Not really. I'm
not right now, obviously, because they're doing so well, right?
I'm kind of afraid of their lineup.
Yeah.
They're pitching not so much at the moment. But their lineup, I fear. As a Red Sox fan.
Is it like the Tigers?
No,
when the Tigers were good, where everyone feared the lineup, but our pitching was terrible.
That's a good point. That is a good point. It is like the Tigers when their lineup was really good and their pitching sucked, but they did have.
It wasn't our pitching; was our relief pitching was terrible.
Right.
Yeah,
but the Blue Jays just have nothing. They have no.
And we're playing back at home again. That's exciting.
They are. True. They had a lot of time to fix that Rogers Stadium. Rogers, yeah. I've never liked the Blue Jays to be honest with you. Just being a Sox fan for as long as I have, you got Roberto Alomar and Joe Carter. You had those years. Whatever. So this is a different show. This ain't putting you over sports.
We've already concluded that we're a show that doesn't talk wrestling.
That's a good point. We are a show that does not talk wrestling. Hardly. We hardly talk wrestling, actually.
I think this is the most in one night that we've actually talked wrestling.
It is. The guest, obviously, with the guests, but we had a lot of NXT talk and how they're dead and how
dead.
Triple H failed. He went into business for himself and he failed. Couldn't beat AEW. We talked about Adam Cole. How he's gonna chase. He wants to marry her. He better go AEW. We talked about that. Anyways, Aaron, you could stay around if you wanted this horse shit. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and we don't have a forbidden door, so you're welcome anytime you want.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, guys. Vanessa, I'll see you on the 21st. And like I
Yeah.
said, reach out to me. I'd love to set something up
Yes.
to have you involved in some way, shape, or form, whatever you'd be interested in. We'll talk about it. But thanks again so much for having me on. Thanks so much to all your listeners for listening to all of this for the last hour. And like I said, hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Awesome. Have yourself a great night. Tell your wife I said thank you.
You too. Absolutely. Thank you.
Peace.
Appreciate it, guys.
Awesome. Great stuff.
Take care.
Yeah. Have a great night.